Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for my second video, I want to do a quick little story time. Well, I don't want to say quick because I don't know how long I'll take, but this is the story about how I moved to Texas for 2 months during the pandemic, and then I came back and moved to California. So it all started when me and a few people were like, you know what, we should move to Texas. So we went back in like February to Houston, and we stayed there maybe for like 4 days, and we just went house hunting. So we went and visited a bunch of houses, and just to kind of get the feel of the city, the different parts of the city, and then seeing what fits us best, and just which house like we like more and stuff. So when we got to Houston, it was just like, it felt like home. The vibes were like really good and awesome, and we loved it. I loved it. But it was really cool, and it was an experience that like I don't regret like at all. So we went, we checked it out, we went sightseeing a little bit. The freeways are amazing. I love it. We came back to California. We made the decision and wanting to move over there. So we liked this house, and we didn't even see it in person because it was occupied. So we were like, you know what the heck, let's fill out the application, let's see if we even get approved for it. Filled it out, we got approved. So we signed the papers, we signed the lease and stuff, and we were like, okay, this is it. We have a place in Texas. Like, we're gonna be moving there in like less than a month. So we were like, okay. So around this time, it's already like the beginning of March, and our move-in date was April 1st. So we were like, okay, like we're really doing this, you know? So then our parents were very supportive. I love my parents so much, and so we started like packing here and there a little bit, you know. We started packing, and everything just little by little started to feel more real and real, you know. But then come like mid-March, around like, I want to say it was around like the 13th, because I went to Disneyland, and we were already like, oh my god, what if we get like the coronavirus or something, you know. So I think it was around like the 13th when the whole like pandemic started happening. And so we were like, okay, one of the girls, she already had a job out there, so we were like, okay, like we gotta move no matter what, you know. So as our move-in date started coming closer and closer, things were still falling into place. So we were like, okay, like start packing. So we started packing, and then we still had like the quarantine orders, the stay at home and stuff. And so it was kind of a little bit sketchy just because we were moving during a pandemic and everything. So, but we were cautious. So the day finally gets here, the day that we have to hit the road. I believe it was like the beginning of April. So because our lease was for April 1st and the whole pandemic happened, they had to push it back to April 7th because they had to like sanitize the whole place and everything. So we still left April 1st, and we hit the road. We took a bunch of hand sanitizer, some sanitizing wipes. We took a bunch of bleach and anything that we could get our hands on, because like everything was like shorted out. And our parents even gave us like toilet paper and stuff, and just like the essentials, you know, that were like being sold out from like the stores and stuff. So we hit the road, and we leave around like midday, and we drive all the way to Arizona, where we stayed with like some family members. Drove to Arizona, got there around like 11 p.m. I want to say. And it took a while because we were driving a huge like U-Haul truck, and that thing spends gas like there's no tomorrow. So we had to stop a few times to fuel up. And then we got to Arizona, stayed the night, got up, hit the road around 7. And then it took like another like whole almost 24 hours just to get to Houston. And it was supposed to be maybe like 14 hours. But because we had to keep stopping to fuel up, like that took a lot of our time. So on the road, we drove through New Mexico, finally made it to Texas. In El Paso, when we got on the freeway right there, it was crazy. Like their freeways are way bigger than like LA and stuff. So the girl that was driving the U-Haul, she like almost crashed, and it was like crazy. So it was like the U-Haul in the front, and then the other girl, and then my car in the back, and we were just caravanning it. And so we see this like semi truck pull up onto the freeway, and she's going, and there's another semi truck, and like the car only goes like a certain speed, it doesn't go past that, and she's like trying her best, and like the other car just comes up and like almost hits her, and me and the other girl were just like on the phone, and we're like witnessing everything. We're like, oh my god. And it was just crazy. Like it was, that part was like dangerous. We were like, oh my god. But we made it, thankfully. And then I believe we stopped there for like lunch or something, and then we got back on the road, went straight to Houston, and we finally got there. I think it was like 5 or 6 in the morning, and the road through Texas to get to Houston, it was like pitch black, and it was crazy. Like we kept psyching ourselves out, like, oh, what if something pops out through the woods and stuff, like, because we've heard stories that other people have told us that like deer will just jump out of nowhere. And so we were just like scared, because pretty much for a good maybe like 4 or 5 hours we were the only cars on the road. And so it was pretty scary, but thankfully we made it alive, we made it safe, no accidents or anything. So we had to stay in an Airbnb for about maybe like 3 days, but I mean it wasn't bad. And then finally on April 7th we got the keys to the house, and we were finally able to move in. Literally that day that we moved in, the truck was due, and we didn't want to like have to pay an extra, I don't even remember how much it was, for like another day. And so we tried to like unload as fast as we could, and that day was just so hot and humid, and we were dying. Like we took breaks inside the house just because like the AC felt so good, and it was crazy hot outside. And we're from Bakersfield, so you'd think that we're used to it, but that humidity was crazy. But thankfully we were able to unload, and it was just the 3 of us, 3 girls, but we did it. And then we had to go take the truck and stuff, and then finally for the next like 3 days we were unpacking, getting settled in, decorating the house and stuff, and it was really nice. It was awesome. And then we all got jobs, thankfully. Well, since like all the small businesses and stuff were closed because of the pandemic, we were able to get jobs at Walmart, and then at like grocery stores, so that was cool. It was really easy to get a job, just because they needed more help and extra help and stuff. And then so we were still working at those places, and some events occurred, so I flew back to California in like May 15th, something like that. I flew back to California, came to see my family. I just felt the urge to like move back. People that know me, they know that I tend to like not show emotion that much. So when I moved out, I mean, yeah, I knew I was gonna miss my family, but it wasn't like the number one thing I was worried about. But just coming back and seeing my family, like it just like it hit me that I was far from them, you know. Everything was just running through my head. So I got back to Houston a couple days later, and And that week I was just thinking, I was like, you know what, that's it, like I'm gonna move back. So my sister flew out to Houston, and I already had the car packed. I have an SUV, and I packed that thing like you open a door and something was gonna fall out. So I packed it up, left the front seat empty so she could sit there, picked her up from the airport, and we just hit the road. And it was already like 7 p.m. by the time we hit the road. So we made it to San Antonio. We stayed in a hotel in San Antonio. That thing was so hard to find. Like, maps took us to this side, but really was on this side of the freeway, and it was raining really hard, and it was just a huge thing, but we made it. And then we hit the road the next day, made it all the way to Surprise, Arizona, where a family friend lives there, and we got to stay with her and stuff, and it was just cool, just catching up and everything. So then we were in a rush to get home, so then the next day hit the road again, and then we finally made it all the way back home to Bakersfield, and now I've been here since then. I think I've been here for about a month and a week maybe. So yeah, like 5 or 6 weeks, around there. But I love being home. I love my family, and my whole experience from moving over there and coming back, like, it just made me learn to appreciate things a lot more. And I'm grateful for that experience. Like I said, I have no regrets whatsoever, and I'm happy where I'm at right now. So I hope this serves as a lesson to you guys, is no matter what you do, don't regret it, because what you did brought you to where you are right now. And honestly, with God, like, everything is smooth sailing. So I just hope this teaches you guys that no matter what you do, live life with no regrets. Just do it. If you think you want to move, just do it. Like, you're gonna learn from your mistakes if you weren't supposed to do it. So that's my story on how I moved to Texas for 2 months and then came back to California during a pandemic. Make sure you guys stay safe out there, wear your masks, sanitize, and make sure you guys have like sanitizer in your car, in your purses, because you gotta be careful. Gotta see you guys on my next video. And if you guys aren't subscribed already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, and share this with your friends and family.